When I downloaded the new game Beat Souls, I have to admit that part of me was hoping that it was going to be the Dark Souls of the rhythm game genre. Sadly, it's not. There's no magic, ugly bosses, or even one reference to the Estus flask, but rather 4 anime girls listening to generic dance music. Look, I'm gonna try my hardest to not let this disappointment cloud my judgment. But admit it, now you're curious what a Dark Souls rhythm game would look like. Oh, well, welcome to my life. As far as I'm concerned, Beat Souls is nonsense. There's no story explaining why these 4 anime girls are trapped in a never-ending struggle to avoid obstacles on a node highway. It was only after reading the game's press release that I realized that the characters are dancing to collect spirits. And no, don't expect to learn anything about this story from the character select screen, which ends up reading a lot more like a dating profile. Of course, this hardly matters, because Beat Souls is the kind of game that can get by on its addictive gameplay and upbeat dance songs. We don't need an elaborate story to set everything up, because we're here to dodge obstacles and listen to fun pop music. And as rhythm games go, this one has some interesting ideas. For starters, you control a girl and her 2 Atomo companions, which she will use to collect the yellow and blue notes that are lining the highway. Usually, these companions are positioned on both her left and right side. However, she can pile both of them on either side whenever it's necessary. The goal is to dodge the obstacles and pick up as many notes as possible before the song ends, all in hopes of earning a new high score and a full combo. Now, when I mention obstacles, I'm mostly talking about walls and spikes. This is what the game calls noise, and you'll have to deal with both of these obstacles in pretty much every stage. As I'm sure you've already figured out, you'll need to move left or right to avoid the walls, whereas you'll need to jump over the spikes. This starts out incredibly easy, but the challenge quickly ramps up as the game starts combining the obstacles and leaving harder note patterns. On top of dodging threats, the dancing queens in Beat Souls are often asked to collect both yellow and blue notes. This is done by switching the color of your companion orbs, which is as easy as pushing a button. Or, at least it's supposed to be that easy. One of the big problems that I ran into was that pushing the button didn't always switch the colors. I mean, I know that the game registered that I pushed the button because it makes the sound effect tied to the changing of the colors, but it didn't always switch from yellow to blue. This isn't so bad in the slower songs when you have plenty of time to look out for this issue. But yeah, it becomes an absolute nightmare during the faster and harder songs. Unfortunately, this is just one of the problems that I have with Beat Souls. Even if the color switching worked flawlessly, I would still be underwhelmed by the soundtrack and stage designs. I want to say that the music is generic, but you know what? That's not the problem. The issue is that every song feels incomplete, half-baked even. These feel like rough drafts and sample riffs that could turn into catchy songs, but aren't quite there yet. Hell, most of the tracks in the game don't even have an ending. They just abruptly end, sometimes in the middle of a dance move. It doesn't help that the note placement doesn't really feel connected to the song that you're hearing. Look, don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting the level of specificity found in Rock Band or Guitar Hero. But if you told me that the levels were randomly created by a computer before the song was even added, I would probably believe you. I suppose the saving grace here is that the levels are often fun to play, and I like how they gradually ramp up the difficulty when playing through the lengthy campaign. There are of course other things that the game gets right too. For example, after you've completed any of the normal stages, a harder version will pop up in hopes of challenging you. There are also special stages in the extra difficult Hell mode, which will take the challenge to a whole new level. The game is good about unlocking new characters and modes and things for you to do. Something that'll keep you playing and replaying the 30-song soundtrack over and over again. I also like the look and style of the game. While certainly simple and lacking in the obstacle department, I largely enjoyed the cyberpop aesthetic. There are times when things are going so fast and the note highway is so crowded that the game is almost daring you to stay focused. I don't know. Perhaps I'm just a sucker for this style of rhythm game because I like the way it looks, even if there are times where everything blurs together into one chaotic soup. I have a hunch that the presentation, along with the music, will be one of the more polarizing aspects of Beat Souls. Look, when it comes right down to it, this is a game that's saved by its fun gameplay. The combination of rhythm and runner elements makes an admittedly shallow game feel fresh and unique. With a more focused story and better arrangement of songs, I could see this becoming a fun series. In its current state, however, I'm having a hard time recommending Beat Souls. No, Beat Souls is not the Dark Souls rhythm game that we've all been longing for. It's a simple yet entertaining game that sees anime girls dancing as they pick up notes and dodge noisy obstacles. While the gameplay is fun and certainly shows promise, this game is ultimately brought down by its half-baked soundtrack, repetitive obstacles, shallow stage designs, and color switching that doesn't always work properly. And with no multiplayer mode or even online leaderboards, what are we even doing here? The cool cyberpop style and occasionally catchy song just isn't enough to make Beat Souls worth buying at full price. Hey, thanks for watching our review. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that we post new reviews and features almost every day. Now, here's the question I have for you. What is your favorite Souls game? You can take it in the Dark Souls direction, I suppose, but I'm sure that you could be a lot more creative. Personally, I'm a big fan of the Mansion of Hidden Souls. That's probably just me. Let me see your picks in the comments below. On another note, Beat Souls has a real SEO problem. Every time I tried Googling it, the search engine just assumed that I meant best Souls game. And even when I corrected it, all I found was a bunch of people bragging about completing Dark Souls. Yeah, honestly, I probably would have gone a different direction with the name. Anyway, you should click the subscribe button and support what we're doing here. It's the right thing to do. Until then.